Folks, we always bring you the best of the best people I can find, and Matt the Mortgage Guy is no different. In fact, he was just featured in Mortgage Professionals of America, MPA, in an article that really went hard after these shared equity providers. They are not the shining knights that they are portrayed as in their advertising. In fact, they are sharks out there to likely hurt you in many, many ways. Matt, why don't we talk about the ins and outs of the article? Congratulations. Thank you for this PSA, this buyer beware. But yeah, it's sad to see people in a financial situation where they need some cash. Their last asset is the equity in their home. And maybe because they feel like they don't have any options, maybe they don't really understand it, they go to one of these shared equity providers and it gets ugly and ugly fast.
Yeah. I've got a lot to say about it. And I think I'll start with, some of the stuff that was mentioned in the article where, one, I think we're in an environment where people have a ton of equity that has built up over the last 5, 7, 10 years, a ton, especially when we're talking about, California, where I'm at.
Yeah.
And, so that's part of the equation. And then you mix in the other part of the equation where some people are financially struggling and everything is more expensive. And so some of these people that were living on the edge have started living in a deficit of $1,000, $1,500 a month. All of a sudden they've got credit card debt. And so I know what it feels like because I talk to these buyers all the time and or these consumers. So they're reaching for a lifeline, and this lifeline, some of the marketing, and I get it, right? Every company's got a market, but like the smarter way to access your home equity. And I know some of these companies, there's no payments attached, or maybe it's interest only. They're good. They're slick, right? The reason I know these terms and these companies so well is back in 2019 and 20, I think it was, I had a lot of people come to me, and I just happened to have wholesale lenders that would let me refinance the first and let this second lien, where this company owned equity, subordinate and stay on in second position. Like literally very few lenders in the country, so much so that I bought like a website dedicated to refinance. I won't put this company's name in the in here. But whatever the case, just know that if you're a homeowner, this is our public service announcement. There's a lot of options to borrow against your home. You can do it responsibly, and that's okay, right? A home equity line of credit from a local credit union at 8%. As a broker, I've got some access to some home equity lines that make sense in some situations. Sharing your equity, in my opinion, is not the play. It's like one of the reasons why you buy real estate. Why do you want to give up like one of the biggest things? Quick example, because I know some people learn by examples. Not only do these companies advertise like, we'll loan you some money and we get a piece of your equity. They'll do it on the purchase. And a lot of the ones that I came across, Mike, were like, hey, $1 million is a big purchase. You put down 100, we'll put down 100. You'll avoid mortgage insurance. You might get a better loan. When I looked at some of these, I'm like, dude, I would have put 10% down. I could have got you a loan for 10% down. Because check it out, Mike. 16, 17, 18, somebody bought in the Bay Area for $1 million. They put 10. One of these companies put 10. But guess what? The company got 36% of the future upside. So I talked to some of these people in 20 and 21 or 22. After the company that I was brokering to stopped subordinating, they were stuck. They couldn't refinance their first, which made it really crappy. But also, their home was worth $2 million. And they owed the 100 they borrowed, 37% of the upside, whatever, the agreements differed. And so they like to get out of that agreement, they would have to stroke a check for $470,000. It was wild. And so that's why, unless there's been some radical change, I'm open to discussion about it. These things just aren't what most people would be getting into.
Yeah, it's really funny. Again, some of these shared equity plays. Another one that I've seen blow up, and again, I'm not in the business. I just have seen. Let's try to be accurate. Somewhere between 10 and 15 what are called reverse mortgages blow up. And again, I don't understand the whole system, but basically these individuals own their houses free and clear. They went in and got a reverse mortgage, a lump of money, and then the money ran out and they were foreclosed on. Right. I know people that got into reverse mortgages because they in their mind, they would, get to live out their years in their home until they passed. But, at least in the 10 to 15 opportunities I saw, because again, these were foreclosures that came across my desk. That's not how it worked out. These people were not left in a better situation. It's kind of the same thing.
One thing I will say, and I always admit it when I'm not an expert on reverse mortgage, but I've had a couple really good conversations. I sat in on a 1 hour, literally review with a client because I wanted to learn. Reverse mortgages over the last few years, 3 to 5 years, have changed dramatically.
Oh,
and
okay.
When I was looking at it, it's like other loan products where it's like, well, this isn't necessarily for everybody, but like in certain scenarios where this person was able to like just upgrade life immensely, didn't have heirs that the home was going to be passed on to, had no chance of like being, put out on the street. Like it makes sense for some people. And, the fees and the terms and some of the negative stuff that I think all of us probably have heard over the last 10 or 20 years, I think a lot of that has been ironed out.
I hope so. Again, these were some horrible situations that came across my desk. Rightly so. This is back when I was aggressive. So this might have been 7 years ago ish. Right. Yeah. But that's always stuck with me, right? These folks were in their 70s. I think one was in their 80s. And it was like, wow. I remember thinking, I'm never going to let my mom do a reverse mortgage. Right? That's what I remember from those conversations. Mom, you're not doing that. That's for sure. But yeah, at the end of the day, giving up equity with these shared equity providers, I couldn't imagine buying in the Bay Area, seeing 6-7 years of appreciation, wanting to get out of it. Not only do you owe the down payment, but now you own 36% of the equity. That is a hell of a check. And you're not going to get away from it. Most people are probably in a position where they have to sell the house to put that behind them.
For sure, because, imagine some of those people now where it's like you've got this shared equity agreement, you owe $500,000. On your first mortgage, you owe, let's call it $850. Your first mortgage might be 3.5% or 4%. Maybe 5% because you couldn't refinance it in 2021.
Maybe.
A cash out refinance to 1.4, whatever the number is, at today's rates, their payment is going to, and so they're in the worst position possible where it's like, I don't want this debt that I owe somebody else, this shared equity, continue to rise, but I can't afford to refinance and have my payment quadruple. And so you're right. I think a lot of these people are going to be stuck in a, must sell situation. And who knows, they might become renters, they might get a little bit of equity for themselves. But at the end of this article, my message was, because some of these things are new too. You can't always rely on ChatGPT because you know what I'm seeing so much in my business, Mike? Somebody will ask me a question or I'll communicate with somebody, usually via email, and me and Michelle, my loan partner, are both seeing it. Their response is ChatGPT. It's like nobody writes emails that like have certain stuff highlighted and it's bulked into like, well, I'd like to point out 1, 2, and 3. And so the problem is, if something like this product is pretty new, there's not a lot of, forum conversation. There's not a lot of education. When ChatGPT goes and scrapes the internet to get you information on it, guess where they friggin' get it? From the people marketing the goddamn product. And so you might type it in and it goes, well, this product is great because of X, Y, and Z. This product can do this, this, and this. What you'll find is this, this, and this. You don't have enough history with it. You need to talk to a human being that moves his head up and down like this or side to side like this and says, no, Mr. and Mrs. Jones, don't do that. Don't give up equity in this house to take money and go buy an investment property that your hope is going to appreciate in the future and create cash flow. Let me show you a HELOC. Let me show you other options. And so you still need a human advisor. That's the advice at the end of the public service announcement. All these products are not created equal.
Folks, at the end of the day, we try to bring you the best of the best people. It's people like Matt who get featured in Mortgage Professionals of America, MPA. Matt, where can people find you?
Go to greatmortgagebroker.com. We're happy to help. We're licensed across 48 states. So at the very least, I want to leave you better than I found you, with some good advice and some good direction. Sometimes People are looking for things we can't do, and I can point you to a commercial broker or things of that nature. But never hurts to reach out. GreatMortgageBroker.com, or find me on socials, Matt the Mortgage Guy, on YouTube, Instagram, wherever else you can, maybe TikTok too. I'll make a video.
There you go. Thank you, boss. Take care. We'll talk next week.
Thanks,
Bye.
Mike.